Today's date is September 10, 2024. I'm having my first podcast with Saeed Aziz. He is a person that I met over a year ago. Saeed is a good friend of mine. He is a Palestinian American, and I am Israeli American. And we found that we have a lot in common, and that is the desire to live in peace with each other and the desire for the people of Israel and Palestine to live in peace. I met Saeed over a year ago, and then I went to the West Bank and I met his family and his brother, and we became very close friends. And we decided to do this first podcast in order to talk about Saeed, his personal development, and his political development that I noticed throughout the years or throughout the time that I know him, that it's really mixed. His personal and his political views are mixed with each other. So, welcome, Saeed.
Thank you, Joseph.
So, I know that a very important part of your personal and political life is started when you were, I believe, 14 years old.
Yes.
Could you tell us about that? What happened at that time?
This is actually when I was 15 years old. This is where the first Intifada started. And as a young kid, all the force of Intifada was among teenagers, young teenager who became involved in the political arena of the Palestinian community. And this is what kind of formed me and made me who I am today.
Okay, so you said first Intifada. That means there was at least a second Intifada, correct?
No, I never. The first Intifada started in 1988. Back in 1988 in West Bank and Gaza. Started in Gaza, and 4 months later, it started in West Bank, and this is when the whole thing started. We call it the Intifada. It's the uprising, where everybody started throwing rocks and getting involved politically and reject the occupation and the Israeli forces in West Bank and Gaza.
So there were two Intifadas, first Intifadas and second Intifada.
The second Intifada happened in 2002. I was not in Palestine, but I was part of the first Intifada, correct?
And you were, at that time, you were 15 years old?
Around 15 years old, correct?
At the first, during the first Intifada.
Yes.
Okay, and you were born where?
I born in a beautiful town called Al-Mizra al-Sharqiyya. It's 15 or 16 kilometers north of Ramallah, next to a beautiful town called Salwad. And, it's sitting in a very high mountain. And it's a village. I did my elementary school in my town, and my secondary school, I went to another town called Ain Abrud. So this is where I grew up, between Al-Mizra al-Sharqiyya and Ain Abrud, between my elementary and my secondary school.
Yeah, I visited that village. It is beautiful. The air is tremendous, very clean, beautiful view, and beautiful homes. And your brother Rashid was a tremendous host and showed me the village and showed me where you lived. That was very, very nice visit. So going back to 1988, how did you participate in the Intifada?
Like I say, this is started in Gaza, then it moved to West Bank, and it was the whole entire Palestinian people became part of it, where they go out, do administration. Like, for example, I am from a little town north, 15 kilometers north of Jerusalem, of Ramallah. We come out and we carry the flags and we call for the liberation of Palestine, for us to be free in our own land. Israeli soldiers come to our town and start attacking us. So imagine in the first Intifada, we was not doing anything where we go into the cities of the cities of the Israelis or the settlers cities or anything like that. They come to us, not allowing us to carry flags, not allowing us to demonstrate and ask for our freedom and our right. And that's it becomes like when you see the soldiers comes, they start shooting you with live ammunitions, plastic bullets, rubber bullets, gas, gas, whatever you call these gas. Uh, how to say these things?
Yeah,
The one
tear
who
gas.
the
Tear gas.
tear gas, and they just don't want you to even call yourself a Palestinian. In my time, I was not allowed to carry a flag. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever see demonstration in my own town, when we was burying a gentleman, he died in that day. His name, God bless his soul, Bajis Awad. And after we buried him, my brother made a flag and carry it, and everybody got emotional and follow the lead because everybody was under brushers and under, like we are living and we have nothing. Nobody represents us. We don't have any identity as a Palestinian. So this is when the whole thing starts. We call it the uprising. Soldiers comes, we throw rocks on them, we stop them. They throw tear gas on us. They shoot us. They injure us. They kill some of us. Like I witnessed two uh, two kill. They killed two people in my town, and what we did for these people to be killed, nothing. They are just sitting doing nothing in their house, and you just have a sniper shooting them. So it was like an order from the Israel's military, where just kill one, kill two, make everybody scared so they don't come out. And this is instead of cooling things down, it just increase the Intifada.
I see. So that was going to be my question. Did the interaction at that time, at the first Intifada, did it create better relations between the Palestinians or the Israelis, or did it worsen the relation?
It worsened actually. Before the Intifada, we was kind of free to move, to go to Israel. Our people go work there, come back. You have incidents here and there. But it was not like just a normal life. But the Intifada kind of like increased the pressure and created a lot of hate.
Was the wall already erected at that time in 1988, or
Who's
was it
that?
before
No,
the?
no, 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 not in that time. The wall was after the Intifada of the second Intifada, actually, not the
I
first
see.
Intifada.
So, did you personally visit Israel before the Intifada?
Yeah, of course. So we used to go to Tel Aviv, Jaffa, Haifa, Akka, Jerusalem. We used to travel all the time. Like our yearly school visit used to go to inside Israel. So we used to travel. It was like you feel normal. You don't feel no interaction between us. I never witnessed any bad things in that time. We used to hear that about the Palestinian factions goes and commit do something in Israel, attack military bases, something. But we never like I never witnessed anything like major where it makes me see the. But I always feel like we are restricted. You always have checkpoints. You always have military appearance. Like from the moment I born, all I saw in my life, all I saw in my eyes, is Israeli soldiers. Like when I go get, let's say, if you want to make an ID or you want to get permission for your father to travel or your mother to go to Jordan for a family visit or for a doctor visit, you have to go and meet these idara madaniya, like civil, call it the civil control office by a military guy. I never see a civilian in my life other than seeing a settler who have a gun and a soldier who have a gun. That's all I saw. That people have guns.
Now, you said that you were able to travel to Israel. As I remember, the vehicles from the West Bank, they had a different license plate.
Exactly. I remember we used to see different blades. Israelis have the yellow tag, yellow blade, and the Palestinians have two tags. If you are a taxi, you have the green blade, and if you are a private owner car, it goes to blue blade. So you are going through checkpoints. You could see it clear. Whoever have the yellow blade, he keep going, and whoever have a green and a blue blade tags, you stop and you get humiliated every time.
Now, going back to the Intifada, I want to talk about you personally. You were arrested at that time, correct?
Yes.
And why were you arrested?
All right. One thing that increase our fights because we lost two gentlemen from my hometown. One of them is my age. The first one named Ayman Salim. He was my age. We are throwing rocks. No harm to the Israeli military, and they shot him dead in front of me. I was one of the people who carried the body, and I remember when the soldier shot him, I saw it in my own eyes. When the soldier shot him, it went like the bullet was too small here, but if you go to the back, it was like this, you know. So he was dead just like this, just throwing a rock, no threat, no whatsoever.
What was
Then
his name?
Ayman, Ayman Salim Ajak,
Ayman Salim.
Ayman Salim Ajak,
How do you spell his last name?
Ajak, IJAK.
And he was your age at the time?
100%. He was from my class. He was, you know, I, I don't want to say close friend, but he was a brother to me. Like we go to school together. He's an amazing person, quiet, young, innocent, no harm whatsoever, you know. And the second incident I
Wait,
saw,
I just want to clarify. He was shot in the chest?
he was shot in the front here, where a bullet came through the chest and came out like this in the back.
Okay, so it was a small entry hole and a big exit hole.
This is the first time I ever see blood. Actually, I saw blood where you break your head and this, but this is the first time I see like machine guns or gun
A
shooting
person
somebody.
being a person being shot.
Carried
Uh,
him, and he never
wait.
survived.
I just want to focus on that. This happened in front of your eyes.
100%.
How far were you demonstrating together
Yeah.
and
We was
throwing rocks?
demonstrating together, throwing rocks on top of the houses, and we are too far away from the soldiers. And I see the soldiers coming next to his father's shop and go like this, and he start doing like this and shot. And we just
Okay,
see Ayman knocked out.
so you saw the soldier pointing the gun, and then your friend Ayman was shot in the chest and was killed.
Yes, and not me. We was like maybe tens of kids, not just me and Ayman. We was all of us
Yeah,
like throwing rocks.
yeah.
But all we did is throwing rocks. And the military, you know how the military, they come with this, tanks or cars that if you even shoot them, it's not gonna harm them. You know what I mean? But they was acting badly, like overacting for somebody who's throwing a rock.
I see. So they had armored vehicles, and you were throwing rocks at them. Were you able to hit them with the rocks?
Sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. But like I said, it was not as you think it is something like. It's just we are acting like we are rejecting them to be in our towns. They came to us. We didn't go to them. This is the
Okay.
difference, you know.
Yeah. All right. So going back to your arrest, why
The
were you
second the
arrested?
second incident, I need to bring this up because that's what formed anger in me and hate in me, where I saw a settler who came from Ofra. We have a settlement called Ofra. They go to Nablus, a settler called Shiloh, and they use our village. They use the road in our village. Imagine this settler. As soon as we see his car, it goes like a bullet in a small village. He violates the speed. He violates everything. All he do is like he just want to get out as fast as he can get. And for some reason, there was a blockage in the road. And the guy came up with his machine gun. I saw it the same way. It was maybe 1 week or 10 days between the assassination of Ayman and this gentleman, his name Khadr Sharari. They shot him in his own house, have nothing to do with whatsoever. A man in his 40, he have around maybe 5 boys, 3 girls, all young. He's a hard-working man, and they just snipe him in front of his family. So this is what's kind of increased the anger in us as kids,
Okay,
and we
so
just
I want to understand, what does the shooting have to do with the settler's car
because
speeding in?
the settler who shot our Mr. Sharari. So the settler used to use our roads. He didn't go to like a separate road. The settlers has to go use our roads as a villager, and the settler, if he get stopped or he get slowed down, he can come out and start shooting with the machine gun.
Okay, so did he come out of the vehicle and shot?
Yes, yes. And I want to talk about a distance. It's like almost 1 kilometer. I could see where is the shot, where is the car was, the settler was, and where is the Mr. Sharari.
Okay,
And
but
he kind of like shot him for one shot, went through his chest and killed him.
the person who was killed, his name is Sharabi, Mr. Sharabi,
No,
Hader,
Sharari or Hamida.
Hader Sharabi,
Rari.
Sharari. Okay, so I'm trying to understand this. Just try to explain it to me. The settler was driving at a high speed through your town, and then he stopped at the checkpoint.
It was a blockade. People put, roadblocks, so
I
it
see.
slows them down.
Okay, the blockade was by the Israeli military, or
No,
was it Palestinian?
by few kids. Few kids just slow him down because he speed all the time, so they slowed him
I see.
down.
Okay, so he stopped. He was stopped by the Palestinian blockade, and then he came out of the car
And start shooting.
and started shooting. Okay, and was Hader Sharari in his home at the time?
I remember it exactly. He was down on the road, and it's maybe almost a kilometer from where is the settler stand, park, and where is the Mr. Sharari in his house, walking in his balcona, and he shot him just right there without him being involved with anything in his own house.
Okay, so Hader Sharari was not part of the blockade, but nevertheless was shot by the settler.
100%.
And did the settler also shoot the people that blocked him?
No, because the blockage was right there without nobody. They was putting these rocks so the cars can slow down. And he
Oh, I
got
see.
that, so nobody was in the blockade. It's just,
Okay, so it was an obstacle in the road. It was
exactly, obstacle in the road.
so there were no people on the road, no Palestinian on the road. There were only rocks on the road.
Correct. And now in this time, we lost 2 people in my town, and every other town start losing more people and more people. Like they start intentionally shooting innocent people, and that's kind of increased the anger of the whole population in my
Okay,
area. And we start, going out more, demonstration more, putting flags more, and we don't want to obey the Israelis' orders. We don't want to do any of the Israelis' orders, and that's when that start forming my political personality, because
identity.
now
Yeah,
the
yeah.
PLO came and start taking over, and they want to kind of like recruit everybody, and I was kind of like close to the mentality of Fatah people, because I like the ideology of Fatah group. Fatah is like they don't discriminate against you if you are Christian, Jewish, Muslim, right, left. If you are a Palestinian and you obey the constitution of Fatah, you are part of it. So I choose to be part of the Fatah movement, who is the largest group in that time and until today in the Palestinian communities.
Okay, so you were. We're still talking about you at 15.
Yeah, in that area between 15 and 16, and then we
Okay.
start, getting involved, and Israelis they start using spies, use people among us for I don't know, like people who's like undercover, report us, send report to the Israelis, and they start, picking up kids and torture them.
So
And
the Israelis use Palestinians as spies against Palestinians,
yes,
basically.
yes,
Okay. All right. And now, again, why were you arrested?
yeah. And one incident, as I told you one time, it was a convoy for an Israeli military and one civilian Ford Transit car. They came through our village. We already know how we was like already prepared. Like now we don't want them to come around us, use our street. We don't want them around us at all. So this convoy was like one car, one jeep in the back, one jeep in the front, and you have a Ford Transit in the middle. And they was
So
going,
I'm sorry, you're speaking about a convoy of vehicles,
yes,
Israeli convoy.
exactly. One civilian, two military, one in the top, one in the front, one in the back, and we attack that convoy. Attack it mean we put a blockade, and we start throwing rocks, and we kind of like got them out of their things. What happened that day? That convoy was for Yitzhak Rabin. Yitzhak Rabin was in that car.
Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar, Yitzhak Rabin was the prime minister of Israel at that time, or was he
He
the?
was the defense minister of that time.
Oh, he was the defense minister at that time. He was the chief of staff of the Israeli army in 1967. Then he became the defense minister of Israel and then prime minister of Israel, and eventually was assassinated.
He was assassinated by Israel's right wing, the people who's
Yeah.
controlling the government. Yes. So when we did that, the whole town went upside down, and they brought all these militaries. They start calling militaries all over. We start getting helicopters throwing soldiers around us, and they brought like the whole maybe hundreds of soldiers, and they blocked the whole town. Like they went like this to us. They blocked it. And that night I got arrested. We all got arrested, and I spent 35 days in Al Dhahriya uh, jail. I
Okay.
spent
So you were arrested with others or just you?
with 60, 70 people of my town.
Okay, so 60 or 70 people of your town. And how old were you at the time?
15 and a half.
15 and a half. So about 60 or 70 of you were arrested, and you were taken to prison or jail.
We was
And
taken to Ramallah, where is today's president office, the president office, where is our today's president office. That was a compound for the military. They used to have a two tents. They hold us, then they put us in a transport units and send us to different prisons. So they send me to Al Dhahriya, south of Hebron, like a town between Hebron and Beersheba. This is where there was like the torture, the real
I
torture.
Okay, so from Ramallah, from the prison near Ramallah, you were taken to Al Dariya
Yes.
prison.
Hmm.
And at one point, did you have a trial?
No, actually, they take me for 35 days. I did not see the sun one time. They take me to interrogation. They put me in the hole, torture, beaten up, uh, no sleep, a small little room, does not have a light, does not have a bathroom. They used to give you a little plastic jar where you use number one and number two, and they take it every 2, 3 days. Force me to take shower in cold water in winter time, where that town was freezing, freezing. Force me to take shower in cold water, interrogate me hardly, attack me in my when I am handcuffed to the back. The 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 the, the guy who interrogate me He personally put his feet in my private and knocked me out of my conscious. This is how much they used to beat us. Beat you out every day, torture, slapping, any kind of violence you imagine they did against me. And I never convinced to anything, because it's like whatever I was doing, everybody was doing. And we was
What
not.
is it? What is it? What information did they want from you?
They want to know. They want to know who attacked Rabin Convoy and who's the people who did. So they are taking like 70, 80 people, torture them so they can point on somebody. In reality, the people who attack it, when we attack, it's like a few little kids did it. Like, it was not attacked by organized people. You know what I mean?
So it was all of you attacked his convoy.
Yes. Yes.
But did they want to know who, if it was an organized?
Exactly. They want to know if you are part of any group, any movement, who's directing you, who's organizing you. They was crazy about this, because we start having Al-Qiyada Al-Wataniya Al-Muwahhada is a group of leadership between all the PLO factions, and they start coming out as one leadership for the Palestinian community. And this is something we never had. Like, this is a brand new thing where we have a leader who called PLO to guide us how to live our life, and we follow instructions. Shut down today. You no work today. Don't go to work. Don't buy these. Stop buying Israelis food. So we get in somebody to organize us to liberation in that time.
But you were tortured at the age of 15 and a half?
Yes. Yes. And
Okay.
they got me out. They got me out after 35 days. 7 months later, they arrested me again, and they torture me for 86 days in central prison, Ramallah. So between the 15 and a half and the 16 and a half, I was arrested and tortured twice. But the second time was kind of like the really tough time. Like, I was like young. It's like they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, feed you a bad breakfast, and they put you in the hall, handcuffed in the back, covered in your head with a bag, and you are standing up from 6 in the morning until 11 in the night. I
Wow.
used to wish for a break in my hall. Beating you up, interrogating you, blame psychology against you, taking your clothes off, putting you under hot and cold water, all kind of torture, Joseph. It's like
Why did they arrest you the second time, a few months after the first time?
they're going back to interrogate that event, what happened in Rabin, and now they want to see why Intifada became strong. All the leaders of the local leaders who used to deal with the Israelis, we call him Mukhtar. Mukhtar is your, like, let's say, your sheriff in town,
Yeah.
and he is the one who signed your marriage certificate, your death certificate, your every single thing. If the Israelis military wants to know what's going on, they go to his house. So we asked these guys to resign. So now, no connection between the Israelis and us. We kind of cut all these things, and they send a lot of reports against us, and they accusing us with a lot of attacks, including Rabin's, because they never forget that. It's like, in a way, like it hunted me for the next interrogation, the next arrest, And for 86 days in torture, I never confess. This is why I am in America, as a matter of fact, because I never confessed. There was no charges, there was indictment, but I never confessed for the indictment. And this is why I came to America, because my father is a U.S. citizen, and he sent me include us in his papers, in the papers, and we have green cards from before we came to America. So when I
Okay.
came,
So
go ahead.
so you were never put on trial.
No, I was put in a trial and was sentenced based of some other people who testify against me, but I never confessed for the crime. I went
I
to
see.
a military crime, a military court, It was a military judge, a military prosecutor, and I have a Jewish attorney from Natori Karta. I will never forget her name. Her name, Liat Semel. She was appointed for every Palestinian in the Intifada. If you have Liat Semel, you have a good attorney. She's from Jerusalem.
What is
And
her name?
Liat Semel. Liat Semel.
How do you spell her last name?
Semel. This is how we say it. Liat Semel.
And she was your attorney.
Mm-hmm. Then they give me another attorney. His name is Jawad Boulis. He's an attorney until now. He's in Jerusalem. And he was my attorney when I was, in sentencing. He's a Jerusalemian man. His name Jawad Boulis. And I
And
got sentenced.
wait. Is he a Palestinian?
Yeah, he's 1948 Palestinian. He's an Arab Israeli.
Okay, so he's Israeli-Palestinian or Israeli Arab, as they call it. And Liat is a Orthodox Jewish attorney.
She's a pro-Palestinian for some reason, because when we used to see her in court, we see the relief. If she come visit you and tell you what's happened to your family, it's like she's the angel of peace to see her,
I see.
So I got sentenced in a military court.
Wait, I want to talk about the trial. Was the trial held in Hebrew and Arabic?
You have translator.
You have translator.
Mm.
Okay. But the judges were Israelis.
Military with the stars here.
Military. Okay.
A judge and another judge sitting next to him, a prosecutor, and we have an attorney, and nothing you can do. All you do is just stand in front of him. He asks you if you are guilty or not. You say no. And whether you are guilty or not, he gives you a sentence based of the intelligent recommendation, the Israeli intelligence.
All right. So I just want to make it clear that at that time you were living under occupation, correct?
Yes.
Did you have any, well, you were too young to vote, but did your parents have any right to vote for the government that imposed its laws against you and your family?
Zero.
Okay.
Let me describe to you how my town used to be run. Let's say we have 7 big families in town. We have 7 mukhtars or 7 representatives. They elect one person to deal with the Israelis. So let's say if the Israelis wants to come to arrest me, they go to the Mukhtar house and they say, where is Saeed's house? They go pick you up just like this. We don't have any rights, no civil rights, no votes, nothing. You don't know nothing about the Israelis other than when they pick you up, when they come to shoot you and fight you and stuff like this. Zero.
Okay. But until today, the Palestinians in the West Bank, in your village, do not have the right to vote for the government that creates laws against you, correct?
100%. This is actually our wars right now, because right now you have they divided the Palestinian communities or the Palestinian geography to 3 places. One called Area 1 or Area A, Area B, Area C. Area C is the farming land. Area B, where you want to visit me in town. Area A is in Ramallah. So this Area A, you could see Palestinian police, Palestinian security forces, but they're not allowed to come and serve me in Area B. So you are under the administration of the Palestinian Authority, but you are under the control of the Israeli military.
Okay.
So I am still under occupation.
So what was your sentence that you received in the trial?
2 years.
2 years. And 2 years in prison.
2 years in prison.
And did you serve the 2 years?
I did serve it. I served it in all over the prisons from Megiddo. I remember started from Ramallah. They take me to Nablus, take me to Megiddo, bring me back to Megiddo. Yeah, Megiddo. Then drive us back to Nablus, take us to Hebron, take us to Al-Dhahriya, and I end up doing my time in the Nakab. in Nakab, in Kitsaut, next to the nuclear plant, where you could see it from your eyes,
near Dimona.
near Dimona.
Okay.
So that's why I was there. And you know what's funny? The day I arrived in Dimona, or actually in Kitsaut, we're gonna say it, the prisoners there started hunger strike. Hunger strike is the only weapons we have as prisoners. So if I'm asking you as a military, the Israel's military or the prison guards to give me something and they don't give us to us, we go strike. We refuse, reject food for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Then the Red Cross get involved. They come to us and then they start putting a pressure in the Israelis. So, and the reason the strike was because the prisoners wants to hear a radio. They want a radio. They want some kind of connection with the with the outside world. We don't have any connection with the outside world. We don't have radio. We didn't have TV. We didn't have running water. We don't have running bathrooms. Nothing. So we are asking we start improving our life in prison. And the day I arrived in Kitsaut, I stuck with 7 days of hunger strike. I was so hungry. I can't wait to come to my unit. And all of a sudden, they start hunger strike. And I did 7 days of hunger strike in Nakab. And it was one of the most, and I cannot even explain the pain and the suffering that I had. All we are allowed just to drink water with salt, so we don't have rotten stomachs. And you have the food in front of you, and you don't refuse to eat it until
Wow.
they gave us the radio. And when they gave us the radio, we start regretting asking for the radio because they put us the system. They put us the system like we have. I used to be in unit 3. Unit 3. Each unit, each section from the unit is 300 people. And they put us the speakers, and they put us one song for the next 6 months. Joseph, imagine they do.
Say that. No, I didn't understand what you were saying.
When they put the radio for us, they put us one song repeating itself for next month. Imagine, Farid al-Atrash?
Yes.
Farid al-Atrash. That is funny, but it's not funny. We used to block our ears. If I hear Farid al-Atrash today, I get out of guard. I don't want to hear him. That's how much I hate him. So 6 months, they put in بساط الريح بساط الريح جميل خذني يا بساط على بغداد. So we start blocking. Please stop. We don't say, hey, you did hunger strike for radio. We put your radio, but one song. They don't change it. That's how bad. You see the psychology they're playing against you.
All
So
right.
yeah,
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand why is a hunger strike a pressure point? How do you use hunger strike
okay,
as a means to pressure the authorities? Or
you have the Red Cross, and you have a lot of civil rights organizations that it's B'Tselem. You have a lot of Israelis group. How to say it? When you get to prison, we have rights, and we have funds, and we have things that we should have. But when you go to prison right now, you have torture. They don't give you cantina, food. You can buy things. None of that happened. And the only way we can accomplish these things and ask for it when we hunger strike and we go hunger. When you say hunger strike, the whole Palestinian prisoners communicate with each other and do it in the same time. So you are talking about 7,000 people not refusing to eat. So that's gonna bring a human rights groups, the embassies, and they're gonna bring the Red Cross, and the Red Cross will come and like camp in the prison to make sure that we didn't die.
Right.
So
the hunger strike sends a message to the outside world, and the outside world becomes involved with your struggle inside the prison?
As we are Palestinian prisoners, civil, military prisoners. We are not civil. We not come for crime to steal a chicken or to steal a
Yeah,
bank. We are there because we are political
political.
prisoners. We do have rights, and the international community guarantee us with rights. And the only way that we can bring attention to our rights by getting hunger strikes. And a lot of people died in the hunger strike.
Okay, all right. Say that this is taking longer than. So I want to go to understand why would you why did you change? Why did you become interested in peace with Israelis, the people that subjected you to so much suffering in the most important
That's a great
part of your
question.
childhood?
That's a great question. Uh, when I became a Fatah, part of Fatah movement recruit everybody, including Israelis, or actually Jewish. We have Jewish members of Fatah party, like some of the Notori Karta call themselves Palestinians or Fatah movement. And my attorney in that time was Jewish. And the Red Cross who come visit us, you think they are from Sweden or from Europe, but they are Jewish. So the
They're
soldier,
Jewish. The
yes,
people from the Red Cross were Jewish.
yes, they are
Okay.
Jewish. They carry a European citizenship, but they are. So in that time, as a Fatah from Fatah movement, my group never taught me to hate Jews. It was not in my mind that it's a war between Judaism and Palestinians. We understand that this Judaism or Jewish in general was the victim of Zionism. So I never look at it as a person. Like when I look at you, I don't look at you because you are a Jew, you are my enemy. So this is one thing that I appreciate being part of the Fatah movement, because they teach us, Christians, Muslims, Jews, if you believe in the freedom of the Palestinian people, you are one of us. So I never built in this. When I came to America and I see all of us living together, and I have the opportunity, I'm thankful for being here in this lifetime, you know. And I just go back when I got my visa, when the American embassy asked me to come to get my visa, and the consulate asked me what I have did, I was 100% straight with him. I never lied at him. He told me, "Did you do this? Did you do this?" I say, "Yes, I did this." He said, "Did you ever kill an Israeli?" I say, "No." "Did you ever injure an Israeli?" I say, "No." We demonstrated, you know. And he said, "Because you are honest, I'll give you the visa." And this isn't my immigration record. You could go to my immigration record and you find that interview that I was so honest. I tell him, if I don't do what I'm doing, I will never be a Palestinian, because every Palestinian is doing it. So what changed me is seeing us in America, where we all free. Why? I always ask my question, why we are fighting? And I start looking at Judaism as the victim of Zionism, really, because to me, I believe whatever the state of Israel doing, and whatever some of our leaders, I don't want to like name them in names so they don't clash on me. I start seeing us as both victims of the occupation and whoever leading the things. Because to me, a Jewish could be my best friend, could be my neighbor, could be my community member. I don't have any problem with that. I could go to your temple. I could go to your house. I could go to your Shabbat. I could go to Abu the temple. So I was not built to see you uh, religiously enemy to me. And in the same time, the Quran teach compassion and love and respect for Judaism. You know, a lot of people translate Quran the way they like, but to us, we never hate Judaism. I don't. If you see Edward, ask him. He will tell you a story. He will teach you about not hating Judaism. He will tell you our problem is a colonial project called what do you call. So, what changed me? You changed me. Knowing you has changed me, because when I met you as a person, and when I sat with you, and when I start listening to you, I start coming out and asking a question about your plan. I really thought, wow, this is the best way we can come together. Because in reality, Joseph, let me tell you something. We cannot get rid of you, and we don't want to get rid of you. All we asking for don't harm me, don't destroy me. And this land could be, in a way, we could have a common law where I could live freely in my territory. You could live freely in your territory. You could come to my house. I could go to your house. There is no such a need for all this hate and for this blood and all this, Bible or the religious belief that you're going to bring the things, the third temple, the million temple. We are killing each other, destroying each other. So I am a changed man because I believe no need for all this hate, no need for this destruction. And there is a way. We have a way to find a way to live together. And I really highly believe in that. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I am attacked. I'm attacked because I talk to you, because I speak to you. They tell me, oh, you speak to this guy who speaks to Jewish people. But remember, you have to remember something. Our brothers and sisters in 1948 land, what we call them Arab Israelis, they are our cousins. They live in Israel, the state of Israel. Okay, I don't recognize it. I will tell you, I don't recognize the right of Israel. I recognize the history of the Jewish people in my country, but I don't recognize the government of Israel who's sitting today and occupying me. But guess what? We have members of Knesset. They are Palestinians. We have doctors are Palestinians, Arabs. We have judges. We have police officers who are Palestinians. So I'm looking at myself. The Zionist project is so stupid. How you discriminate against four ways against the same people. You go to Israel, Haifa, Yafa, you find him, he's an Israeli citizen. You go to Jerusalem, he is a resident. You go to Gaza, they are like destroyed now. They want to get rid of them. You go to the West Bank, we're still living under military occupation. If they gave us equal right from the moment that they gave the Palestinians in 1948 equal right, you will never see a war and hate and destruction. So I believe we have to talk to our people. We have to stop it, to stop this madness and this anger and this hate, and we have to come together and say, you know what? Enough is enough. And the best way to do it, Joseph, I always tell my people, start from America. America is the solution. America is the key. The Zionist lobby get their power from here. We need to start talking to Americans together. We need to start going to communities, to churches, to see me and you together and say, you know what? This is the way we should have solved this problem. Angry, madness, right-wing people have to go away. And looking at your plan, one-state solution is never going to happen. Two-state solution is gone. One common government is the only solution right now. And I want to put my time and all my connection to educate people, to see the vision, how we can live together and share together and have common laws and common equal rights as a human being.
Thank you. So, Saeed, we will have another podcast about the IPC and what you think, but I really enjoyed speaking with you. I think that you gave us a lot of information, and your story is amazing. You must have a huge heart to want peace after what you went through. I want to thank you so much. And this is my first podcast. I'm proud to have this podcast. I think that a lot of people will be happy to listen to it. And we'll do another one about the IPC and about our road to try to create a common government for the people of Israel and Palestine together.
Knowing you and knowing the IPC groups, it's an honor for me. I am part of this. I'm going to be part of this all the time. And thank you, Joseph.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.